Hey everybody, let's talk about employees for a minute. You'll have to forgive my bouncy dash holder. I found that if I hold my phone in my hand to stop the bounciness, then it's distracting. And I think it's probably better to have bad video and decent audio in me thinking rather than better video and me sitting here worrying about the bouncing. So I've got an employee that brings in about 40% of my revenue. He's leaving, and which isn't as much as we wanted him to bring in, but he does okay producing, but he has been a bad culture fit. He's always arguing. He's coming in late. I write him up. He gets better for a while. He goes back to being late. He's been a constant problem for several years, I would have to say, to be honest. And my coaches have encouraged me to let him go, but it's one of those things where we're a small enough company, 2 trucks, 2 technicians, one for each truck, 2 helpers, one for each truck, our customer service manager who answers the phones, and me. So there's 6 of us total. And only those 2 trucks bring in the revenue. So now I'm down to 1 truck. And with the overhead that we brought on, planning on growing, I don't know that 1 truck will at best break us even. So we need to get someone else out there. Well, I have not done a good job on my recruiting funnel. I guess I got lazy because I have 2 decent guys behind them. I've got 2 decent guys in training. Those are my apprentices. We call them install team. They are supposed to be getting a license and getting into trucks in the next year. Well, the gap between my producing employee, the licensed technician that's leaving, and the next guy is about a 3-year gap in training. That's too big of a gap. You always have to be able to plug a hole when one opens. So if you've got a guy with 10 years experience and the guy behind him's got 1 year, you better be recruiting because the guy with 10 years could leave at any time. I don't care if these guys have been with you for 20 years, whatever the case may be. Everybody does what's best for them, which is totally understandable. So you just have to be prepared to replace any employee at any time. That is just the law of business. You should definitely work on employee retention. And I do believe at least 2 out of the 3 employees I will have left are really good culture fits, and they want to be here and they believe in it and they see the future. And that's what I'm hanging my hat on and what I'm going to build on. And my office manager or customer, I'm calling her a customer service manager. That's our new, for a different episode, but those 3 are solid. So I'm just short someone in a truck. Now here where we're at, you have to have a license to be in a truck by yourself, going into people's houses, doing electrical work. It's just part of the way it is. If you're an apprentice, you have to have a licensed guy with you. So 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm not even sure how I'm going to handle having 2 apprentices when one of my journeymen leaves. So one option everyone's going to give me is we'll get back in a truck for a while until you find somebody. Well, that's a catch-22 because how am I going to find somebody when I'm in a truck? Also, at 43, even though I work out almost every day, my body really isn't in a spot where it wants to handle the rigors of every day in and out installations. And I did that for 20 plus years, and my body was telling me it was having enough as I was getting out of it 8 years ago. So that's really not a reasonable solution. Even if I said, okay, I'm going to buckle down and do for 6 months, we're going to call 2026. I would have to call it more or less a loss because we are planning on expanding from the 700,000 we did to 1.1 something mil as our first year of a 5-year, $8 million plan, I'd have to bounce that back a year and say, this is a recovery year. And I don't think that's reasonable. I think that's too big of a jump. I think putting this plan back another year and playing it safe is what everyone else would do who's never going to actually make it. So I don't have a solid plan. I posted a Facebook hiring post and an Indeed hiring post hours after he gave me his 2 weeks. I will have to build the courage and the know-how to go out and start cold recruiting. When I see somebody go looking for people, headhunt people looking for somebody else, that's going to be something that I'm going to have to start doing immediately. It was on my agenda for this year, but now it is a burning fire. So I will have to get my thing straight and get it done because we need somebody in the truck. So that's our mission. Just know that whatever employee you have, realize that business is business and tomorrow they could be gone, and what would you do? And you better have a plan and you better have it in place. And if you don't, you're going to wish you did. So get it in place. Employees aren't a bad thing as long as you learn how to structure them correctly. Go get it.